I forgot to mention that my project is listed inside my website, alexandershad.com/projects. You will find it there. I did not mention that in the whole video, so I'm mentioning it now. Enjoy the video. Hello everyone, and today we're going to be making this. But that does not look like anything special, but when you press the mouse down, left click, it draws a circle wherever you move. So, I hope you enjoy. Okay, so here we are in Windows, and I'm going to show you a couple of websites to get started. So the first one is my website, of course. Please go check this out. Link in the description. I made this recently and I'm super proud of it. And yeah. The second one is javascript.com, which you can learn JavaScript from. Begin learning here by typing in your first name surrounded by quotation marks and ending with a semicolon. So, we go like this. And boom, next challenge. I'm not going to do this, but you should before, watching the rest of this from now. Okay, you're back. Go to atom.io and download this editor. It's a very good editor. That's what we're going to use to write our code to make the game. And we're going to get to this website a little later when we're started coding. And this is important, so just minimize this. So I'm going to open up Atom, like I told you to download, and we're going to begin. Okay, so this is what you should see. So I'm going to go ahead and minimize this and create a folder inside of my desktop. And we'll name it P5 game. And I'm going to go ahead and get inside of Atom, close all these tabs, and click on File, Open Folder. Navigate to that folder, and boom, we have that folder. Let's make a couple of files, shall we? Index.html, app.js, and styles.css. So basically, these all have different meanings. What index.html is structuring our game. App.js is programming our game. And styles is optional. This can just tidy up not the game, but what's around it. Like maybe the layout of where you play the game. And we'll get into that later. So first, let's begin our index.html. So first, we'll type in exclamation mark doc type, and boom, just delete this. Okay, there, this is what you should have. And basically this is telling the file that this is an HTML file, even though that we already have the HTML extension. But still, it's pretty good to do this. So then we'll type in HTML, hit tab, and boom, all this stuff appears. And you don't really need to know. Oh my god, they duplicated it. Okay, we only need one of these, by the way. So we don't really need to know what these do. I'll teach you a little bit on the way. So right now we'll get to learn what this is, the title tag. Now I'm going to save this by hitting Control S. As you can see, let me modify the file first. We'll type in hello in between this, and boom, this little, blue dot appears. And what that's saying is that the file is not saved and it's modified. So if you close it out, you're not going to have all the progress you just made since the last save. And so what you want to do is hit Control S to save it, and that disappears. So what this title does is we'll go ahead and minimize this, go into P5 game, and you'll see all our files. Let's hit on index.html, and boom, it says hello up here. So that's what those title things did. So you can rename it to whatever you want, like for example, P5 game. And head on back there and refresh it, and it says P5 game. Pretty cool. So we're going to keep it at P5 game. And I'm going to go ahead and go onto that website, cdn.js, or no, cdnjs.com, sorry. And we'll type in P5. This will bring us to p5.js. Go ahead and hit copy. And do a slew of code right here. And we don't need to do that. We could just type in script and hit tab, and we'll do that for us. Now I'm going to delete everything in the space between this because we don't need it. And what we're going to do is type in the source, paste that in, and boom. So that basically links us to the P5 framework. And now what we can do is go to the top, hit enter, and make another script. And instead of putting that link in the source, SRC by the way, it's an abbreviation, what we can do is type in app.js, which is referring to this file. And so what we just did was make this file the scripting file. So this is where we're going to put all the code in. We don't really have to do anything else now. So what we're going to do is make two functions. And what functions are containers. So we'll make a function named setup and a function named draw. These have to be exact because that's how P5.js works. So what we're going to do is a little something called create canvas. What this does is makes an area where we can draw our, boxes and shapes. And here we define how big we want this to be. So I'm going to just put 1280 by 720. And inside the draw function, we'll put in a background of a color. And we'll go ahead and pick the color right now. So just go to Google and type in Rgb Color Picker. And boom, this should come up. So whatever color you like, I'm going to pick like a bluish and go down to RGB here and copy this. Come back to Atom and inside these parentheses, paste it. And now, once we go ahead and run the P5 game, ooh, look at that. I'm going to go ahead and press F11 to make it full screen. If you're on a laptop that has key bindings on the F keys, go ahead and click the FN key, hold it, and then press F11. That's how you do things on a laptop with key bindings on the F keys. So boom, that's what happens right now. And I'm going to make a little something cool. We'll make an if statement saying if mouse is pressed, it's going to do something if the mouse is pressed. It's going to draw an ellipse. What an ellipse is a circle. So we're going to type in ellipse. I hope I spelled that right, or even said that right. I don't know what I'm doing nowadays. So what we're going to do is set the position it starts at. So we're going to put it at mouse X and mouse Y. And we'll make the circle size 5 by 5. Let's see how that looks. So basically what's going to happen is that we're going to refresh this, and now, well, that's an error. We want to move this background thing to the setup function because draw is called once every frame, and basically it's not really doing anything. So we're going to type in background. And back to the color picker, copy, and whoops, paste, semicolon. Yeah, I spelled the ellipse wrong. I'm pretty sure it's 2 L's. It didn't work. So it draws a circle every time you press. And we can color this circle. And I put it by 5. So this is a little too small. So what I'm going to do is make it way bigger, and we'll make it a size, let's say 20. Considerable size, 5 times bigger. I'm an idiot. Okay, so we'll refresh, and yeah, that's way bigger and better. So we're going to set the color of these circles to be whatever we want. So I'm going to change this to like a yellow color. You know where I'm going with this. So, RGB, we copy that, take it back in here, and before we call this ellipse, we want to call a function named color, and paste in our, paste in our RGB color for the circle. And boom, that should set the color for the circle. And we refresh and... Sorry about that, it's not color, it's fill. I'm a bad tutorial. Man. So, we refresh and boom. Look at that. Alright, that's pretty cool, isn't it? We'll make this cooler. Watch this. So I'm going to make this create canvas as big as our browser, no matter what machine we're on. So first I'm going to go outside of this function and create a variable. And this variable will be called the X and the Y. And we'll set them to window.inner width and window.inner height. What that's going to do is set the X to window.inner width and the Y to window.inner height. So we can go ahead and save this and change these numbers to X and this number to Y. And what's that going to do? Yay, another error. Let's try calling these side by side instead. Alright, this should work way better, hopefully. Yep, it does. So, it is set to our browser, so if we go full screen, it sets to not full screen because what we did is reload the site without this full screen. So it only set it to this viewing. If it was in full screen and we reloaded it, let's see, what is this reload? I think it's Control R. Yeah. So if we went into full screen and pressed Control R, it would have, yeah, see that? It goes to full screen. And we can on full screen and it still remains unless we refresh it, and it doesn't. So what that means is we can make this smaller and refresh it, and then we can make it bigger, and boom, see that? It still remains in that size, and we can't draw outside of this canvas because this is the window or the canvas that is only allowed to be drawn in. So I hope you liked the making of this game. I know it was a little bad, but we're going through some tough times, guys, so I made this to cheer everyone up or something like that. No one really watches this anyway, so they won't really get a bit of cheering. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.